Hamilton hopes he and Ferrari can ride roller coaster to success. Weathering the choppy waves of his new career with Ferrari, it remains evident that each time Lewis Hamilton climbs into the Scarlet Machine, the seven-time Formula One champion perceives it as a step forward, irrespective of external perspectives. He appears unfazed by the intricate process of adaptation, having long anticipated it would be an evolution, particularly given the substantial weight of expectation and intense scrutiny accompanying such a monumental transition. As the Formula One circus arrived at the Jeddah Corniche circuit for the fifth round of the season in Saudi Arabia, both Ferrari and Hamilton expressed optimism regarding the potential for another significant stride in bridging the gap to the dominant McLaren, a team currently setting the pace in the early stages of the championship. The narrative surrounding Lewis Hamilton's debut season with Ferrari was always destined to be a subject of intense global interest, making the management of expectations an almost impossible task. The prospect of the greatest driver of the modern era finally donning the iconic Rosso Corsa, likely to see out his illustrious career with the sport's most celebrated and historically successful marque, and potentially ending a protracted Ferrari drivers' championship drought that stretches back to Kimi Räikkönen's triumph in 2007, is a storyline laden with immense pressure and anticipation. Yet, even before the season had officially commenced, Hamilton had advocated for a cautious approach, acutely aware of the inherent complexities involved in adapting to a completely new car, integrating with new personnel, and embracing entirely different methodologies after an incredibly successful and deeply ingrained 12-year tenure with Mercedes. This measured perspective has indeed proven prescient through the opening 4 rounds of the championship, where Hamilton's burgeoning relationship with his new racing family has been subjected to intense examination under the unforgiving glare of the global media spotlight. This adaptation process has been further complicated by Ferrari themselves simultaneously being in a phase of playing catch-up on performance, striving to extract more pace from their SF24 challenger. At the very same time, Hamilton is diligently learning the intricacies and nuances of his new machinery. However, the British driver is certainly no stranger to navigating the intense focus of the spotlight, and at the high-speed Jeddah Corniche circuit, he handled the persistent questioning and scrutiny with characteristic equanimity and composure. It's to be expected. Ferrari is the greatest team in Formula One history. It's that special, he remarked, acknowledging the unique magnetism and global appeal of the Scuderia. Of course, more stories are written about it and people have opinions, and it's not always been smooth sailing. So from my perspective, you can't work with a team and change things overnight. It's a process that requires time, patience, and a collaborative effort from everyone involved. This considered, long-term approach has served as the crucial ballast, stabilizing the ship for both Hamilton and Ferrari team principal Fred Vasseur, as they navigate the early, potentially turbulent waters of their partnership. Vasseur himself echoed this sentiment after the previous round in Bahrain, emphasizing the scale of the undertaking. You won't replace 12 years of collaboration in 2 weeks or 2 races. Building those deep working relationships and understanding takes significant time and shared experiences. He further noted during the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix weekend that this was very much a two-way street, a mutual learning and contribution process. Lewis is coming with his own wealth of experience, accumulated over 20 years in Formula One with different teams in different eras of cars, Vasseur stated. It's always incredibly valuable to have someone join the team with this kind of extensive experience and unique vision. His perspective and insights are already helping us to analyze areas where we can improve and refine our processes. For Lewis Hamilton, the challenge extends far beyond merely adjusting to a new team environment and working with different individuals. He is also in the cockpit of a fundamentally different racing car, one with distinct aerodynamic characteristics, mechanical properties, and operational requirements compared to the Mercedes he drove for over a decade. This necessitates a significant adaptation of his driving style, a style that had been meticulously honed and attuned to the specific demands and handling of the Mercedes cars for so long. Despite the inherent challenges, Hamilton expressed a sense of having made genuine progress in this regard during the Bahrain Grand Prix weekend, where he secured his best finish of the season so far, crossing the line in 5th place. Crucially, he felt that during the second stint of the race, he was beginning to find a more comfortable rhythm and a deeper understanding of how to extract performance from the SF24. Still, the overarching tone remains one of caution and a realistic understanding of the journey ahead. It's like we're riding a roller coaster together. There will be ups and downs along the way, and I have absolutely no doubts that we will ultimately get to where we plan to be, he commented, his voice reflecting both determination and patience. It's just going to take time. There are changes that are shorter term that we are working on implementing together, focusing on keeping all the inherent greatness within the team and the car, while simultaneously building and strengthening all the areas where we could be stronger. Some of those improvements are short-term, achievable in the near future, and some of them are longer-term projects requiring more significant development and structural changes. While the atmosphere within the Ferrari garage remains notably upbeat and focused, a tilt at the Drivers' Championship title already appears to be wishful thinking for the current season, given the early standings. As the teams arrived in Saudi Arabia, McLaren's Lando Norris surprisingly led the championship standings by 3 points from his teammate Oscar Piastri, with Red Bull's reigning world champion Max Verstappen sitting in third, 8 points further back. Hamilton himself was positioned in 7th place, a significant 52 points adrift of the championship leader, underscoring the performance gap that Ferrari is currently working to overcome. Despite this points deficit, Fred Vasseur remains resolutely convinced that Ferrari possesses the capability to close the gap to the front-running teams, particularly McLaren, and challenge for race victories as the season progresses. He draws confidence from the Scuderia's strong track record of successful car development over the past 2 seasons, demonstrating their ability to extract significant performance gains throughout a campaign. For Lewis Hamilton, securing even a single victory in his debut season with Ferrari would undoubtedly be an enormously meaningful and symbolic achievement, validating the significant career move and providing a crucial boost to both driver and team morale. Ferrari harbored hopes of demonstrating in Saudi Arabia that they were indeed firmly on course to achieve these goals and continue their upward trajectory. The team had introduced a new floor upgrade in Bahrain, a significant aerodynamic component designed to address identified issues with a narrow operating window and a specific weakness in high-speed corners. Running a low ride height is critical for maximizing aerodynamic efficiency and generating downforce through fast sweeps, and the new floor aimed to improve the car's performance in these crucial areas. While there was a feeling within the team that the new floor had delivered some positive results and improved the car's behavior in Bahrain, the true test of its effectiveness and the overall progress made was widely anticipated to be in Jeddah. The Jeddah Corniche circuit is characterized by its extremely high-speed nature, demanding low aerodynamic drag and featuring a sequence of very fast, challenging corners connected by just 2 slower hairpins at either end of the lap. If Ferrari had indeed made another genuinely positive step forward in performance with the updated package, particularly in the high-speed sections, then both Hamilton and the team might well consider themselves to be genuinely on the move, establishing a clear path towards closing the gap to the front. The initial signs from the practice sessions in Saudi Arabia provided a mixed picture. In the first free practice session, held during the unrepresentative daytime conditions for what is a night race, Alpine's Pierre Gasly unexpectedly topped the timesheets, just ahead of Lando Norris and Ferrari's Charles Leclerc. Lewis Hamilton finished the session in 8th place, while Max Verstappen, once again appearing to struggle somewhat with the balance of his Red Bull in these early running conditions, was 9th. As dusk settled and the floodlights illuminated the circuit for the more representative second free practice session, Lando Norris asserted McLaren's apparent strength, topping the timesheets by just over 1/10 of a second from his teammate Oscar Piastri, confirming the Woking-based team's competitive form. Max Verstappen improved significantly to finish the session in 3rd place, with Charles Leclerc close behind in 4th, suggesting that while Ferrari was present in the mix, McLaren held an early edge in outright pace.